Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about QingMing Jie of the local Chinese culture. QingMing Jie is also known as Tomb Sweeping Day. Qing means clean in Chinese. And Ming means bright in Chinese. It falls on the 4th and 5th of April every year. Let's look at the origins of QingMing Jie. Once, there was a loyal man named Jie Zitui who cut a piece of his own leg to feed his hungry master who was sent in exile at the time. When the master came back to power almost 2 decades later, he forgot about Jie Zitui but after a while felt ashamed and decided to reward him for his loyalty. Jie, however, refused and hid in the mountains to live with his mother. The emperor ordered that the forest be set on fire as a means to get Jie to come out. Consequently, Jie and his mother were later found dead from the fire. To commemorate Jie Zitui, the master ordered that on that day only cold food could be eaten as fire could not be used or lit. From that moment, he proclaimed the day after the Cold Food Day to be QingMing Festival, otherwise known as Tomb Sweeping Day or Pure Brightness Festival.
During this time, it is customary for Chinese people from various ethnic groups, at home or even abroad, to travel whatever distance it takes to return to their hometowns for ancestral worship, representing the world's most significant cultural practice of root seeking. Chinese folks believe that ancestors still exist in another land, where offerings are still highly recommended as an act of filial piety. Family reunion is greatly treasured during QingMing Festival, and it is a day for them to be thankful and remember their ancestors. The procedure begins with the rituals of making offerings, performing kowtows, and burning incense and joss papers for their ancestors. It is followed by some cleaning known as tomb sweeping. This is regarded as the most important custom in the QingMing Festival. Cleaning the tomb and paying respect to the dead person with offerings are the two most important parts of remembering the past relatives. Weeds around the tomb are cleared away and fresh soil is added to show care of the dead. The dead relatives' favorite food and wine are taken to sacrifice to them, along with paper resembling money and other paper-made items. This is all burned in the hope that the deceased will not be lacking in the afterlife.
Here are some examples of food served during QingMing Festival. Firstly, paste in the form of a rabbit. This symbolizes the filial son Jie Zitui. Next, sweet green rice balls, also known as qingtuan. It is a popular QingMing food that is made out of a mixture of glutinous rice powder and green vegetable juice stuffed with sweetened bean paste. These sweet green rice balls are jade green in color, glutinous in taste, and sweet in aroma. QingMing cakes, also known as sazi. They are a crispy fried food that is made out of several ingredients such as wheat flour or glutinous rice flour, eggs, sesame, onion, and salt. QingMing snails is also another dish which is cooked with snails, onions, ginger, soy sauce, cooking wine, and sugar. This dish is usually cooked during QingMing Festival as the snails are widely available during this season. Lastly, peach blossom porridge. It is a kind of porridge cooked with fresh peach blossom and rice. This dish signifies love for your loved ones. Therefore, food as a form of communication is directly linked to both ritual and culture. Ritual is defined as the voluntary performance of appropriately patterned behavior to symbolically effect or participate in the serious life. Within ritual contexts, food often stands in for expressions of life, love, happiness, or grief. It is at the center of every important event, which is in this case QingMing Festival.
It is common to see families partaking of food served as offerings to the departed. However, some are dead set against consuming such food for fear of incurring the anger of the dead. They feel that food offered to the departed should be left behind as a show of sincerity. Some families place joss sticks on nearby graves as a goodwill gesture to invite the neighbors to join in. But others disagree with this notion and will happily tuck in into the food later in the hope of getting blessings and protection from the dead. Enough about the traditional times. Let's fast forward to the present, aka now.
Nowadays, instead of cold foods, people usually bring cooked foods such as chicken rice, roast duck, chicken curry, basically the deceased's favorite food. There are even cases where the family burn paper foods and even a replica of seafood restaurant made out of paper. Some of the more tech-savvy youth believe the deceased ancestors would appreciate a modern-day gadget more. This has led to a new commercial market for selling cheap replica iPhones, Wi-Fi routers, and other gadgets on QingMing for family members to give as offerings. Another modern-day trend has seen more than 20 online stores offering tomb sweeping packages for people who are too preoccupied or busy to mourn their ancestors themselves. Companies are now advertising professional mourners to grieve in their stead. Packages range from simple tomb sweeping to more comprehensive packages, which include services such as bowing, giving gifts, and sobbing at the grave. Unsurprisingly, this practice has drawn criticism for being a shameful way to put a commercial face on a sacred festival. Nevertheless, some of the younger generation have expressed that there is a need to strike a balance between traditions and current trends by modernizing the interpretations of old customs. They argue that this motivates the young ones to preserve tradition. Prof. Michael Owen Jones wrote in a research paper for the American Folklore Society that people define events through food. He says individuals may also define themselves by the food they prepare, serve, and consume, while symbols can evoke emotions. If people do associate food with feelings and identity, celebratory meals will always remain part of human culture. To sum it up, when a group of people collectively practice a culture, such as QingMing, a sense of belonging will be established, resulting in solidarity within the community.